Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. So let's talk about it. First up today, Hasbro have unveiled images of their animated wave Jean Grey, and it is absolutely a figure that is coming out. I got nothing. It's the same Jean Grey as the Love Triangle 3-pack. That is in no way a surprise. Absolutely fine, because all of the animated waves seem to be basic repaints with some slight alterations here and there, but nothing to get excited about in particular. And Jean Grey seems less so, at least with Wolverine. You know, the head was a little bit different, I think, and we had the extra photo frame, so a little bit of extra touches there. Jean Grey, unless they're adding extra stuff, which they might do, it doesn't look like there's anything that we haven't already seen. It's the same sculpt, same heads from the Love Triangle 3-pack, and that is already getting a few people kind of like, come on, really? Because at least one of those heads, the one with the big puffy hair, it's not a good expression. It was lackluster when it came out in the 3-pack, and it's still lackluster with cel-shaded paint, and that's just a real shame because these are expensive figures. These are above average, which is kind of surprising in that they are just cardboard boxes. There's less, these are more environmentally friendly packaging. Like, really, there's less plastic, and you're charging more. How does that work when they're still just repaints? Guys, Hasbro, tweet me. Actually, don't tweet me. I never look at Twitter. But you know what I'm saying. It is just repaint and repackage, but for more than you initially paid. So it's kind of a shame. It feels a bit, it doesn't sit too well. But if you are collecting the animated line, then she's going to be a worthy addition in there. But for me personally, I can't get too excited about this. Speaking of not getting too excited, McFarlane DC have shown images, or an image, of their anti-crisis Wonder Woman. And unless I'm mistaken, and if I am, please help me out, I always appreciate it. I think it's pretty much just the Wonder Woman we had before with the chainsaw, but painted gold like an Oscar. I don't know if that is different in sculpting. I need to go back and have a little look. You might be watching this going, Dave, you just... Once again, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. But it looks like it's the nice kind of the face sculpt. Looks good. McFarlane are always decent. When it comes to the sculpting, they always get it. When it comes to PR relations, maybe less so. We'll get to that later. But it looks like a gold statue Oscar of Wonder Woman with a chainsaw. I mean, hey, if your collection's crying out for that, then this one's for you. Sticking with Marvel Legends, we're going back now to the retro 3.75-inch scale. Again, who are you people? Who are you guys who are collecting these figures? Because I don't know anyone. I know you're out there. They're not making these for nothing. So, hey, look, if you're getting joy from them, then that's all good. But I don't get it. And I'm an old, crotchety old man. And if I don't understand something, then I don't like it. Me and Tom McFarlane are going to go hang out on our lawn and tell kids to get off of our lawn. I shouldn't riff. Anyway, we've got more images of them. We got Black Widow, we have Green Goblin, we got The Thing, and we have Thor. And I can see when I'm looking at them like a certain kind of kitsch value if you keep them in the card backs. I can see the card backs on the wall. Like, that would actually look kind of cool. The more I'm sort of envisioning it, the more I sort of think, yeah, that would look good. Like, all together, the bright, colorful, bold graphics. All right, I'm kind of being won over, but still, there are other things in the world I'd want to spend my money on beforehand. But then again, someone would look at what I spend on action figures in general and go, I'd probably spend that money on clothes, Dave. But hey, I make my decisions and I stand by them, and you're allowed to as well. So if you want to buy these figures, you'll be able to very soon. Let's go over to statues a little bit. You know I like talking about my statues. Even if I don't get them, I like showcasing them, especially if it's Resident Evil 2, one of my favorite games of all time, and The Licker. Numbskull Studios have shown images of this terrifying piece of nightmare fuel creation that is the Licker from Resident Evil 2. A design that has kind of transcended that game, and it's kind of iconic with Resident Evil now. If they want to have any kind of scary monster in theme park material or comic book, it's like, boom, just put the liquor in there. Done. Sorted. This statue, of course, from Numskull, looks incredible. Absolutely amazing. Now, this isn't a massive statue. It's 6.5 inches tall, so it's pretty sort of decent kind of size, but more of like a desktop type statue as opposed to a huge coffee table type thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of smaller, but then again, hopefully it'll have a smaller price tag as well, but I can't tell you what that would be because can't find one anywhere. I'm sure closer to the time we'll be able to find out more details. But in the meantime, the terrifying bio creation from Umbrella Labs will be sitting on your table if you want it to at some point. Man, I haven't got much for this. I just wanted to show pretty pictures. Silverhawks monster figure from Ramen Toys. I don't know much about Silverhawks, but I love some of the designs that we're seeing from this old franchise. This, I don't know if it didn't come over to the UK when I was a kid, or maybe it just passed me by, but I'm just not familiar at all. But this guy, this terrifying looking dude, oh my goodness. He looks amazing. I'm just thinking like for a cosmic collection in general, or just like a evil monsters type collection. This looks so cool. It's 1/12 scale, but even though it's 1/12 scale, he's 9 inches tall. So he is a big monster. I just think it looks like a fantastic kind of product of engineering and painting and sculpting that have just come together to make this wicked looking action figure. So I might not know much about him, but I do know he looks awesome. Although, I mean, having said that, for the price of $119.99, the centers of price rhetoric, it should look good, because that is a lot of money. But if you are a big Silverhawks person, and I'm sure that there are big Silverhawks fans out there, then you can pick this guy up in August. And hey, look, if you're just like a crazy person with a whole ton of money and you want a badass monster, then hell, this guy would make a pretty amazing addition. Speaking of monsters, Neca have shown pictures of their Gargoyles Brooklyn figure. Again, another addition to the really quite incredible Gargoyles range. Like, man, I'm so glad that I'm not a big Gargoyles fan, because if I was, I'd be buying the heck out of these, because I'm not a Gargoyles fan, and even I'm tempted like, oh, but they are so nice, but I just don't have that nostalgic connection, so therefore I can say no. But oh boy, if I said yes. They must be looking so good on people's shelves, with Goliath and the fat dude and the scrawny one and the dog, and now you got Brooklyn as well, and he's got sunglasses and all different swappable heads. I mean, it's Neca, you know what to expect. All the different accessories, different posing options and styles. I love the look of this guy. If you're on my Instagram, or if you're on the Model Behaviour Facebook page and you've got a Gargoyles display, share some pictures, man. I'd be really interested to see how these displays look when they're all together, because I bet they look badass. Oh, I'm almost convincing myself, but already I'm thinking in my brain I have so many pre-orders and things that I want to buy. I can't start doing Gargoyles now, but man, judging by this figure, I would be so tempted. Neca are going back to their movie Ninja Turtles, and they've got 3 big-ish kind of releases. I said big, and then I was like, is it really big, Dave? Well, let's talk about them, and then you can be the judge. First of all, they're releasing the Secret of the Ooze Turtles in a VHS-style 4-pack. We're kind of going VHS crazy today, aren't we? We've got the animated X-Men VHSs, and now we've got the movie Turtles VHS 4-pack. This is kind of cool, because at least they are actually quite different designs from the original 1990 movie. I mean, to your average Joe on the street, you'd see them and go, oh, this is just the Ninja Turtles. But actually, to us super obsessive psycho nerds, we can go, no, that's blatantly Secret of the Ooze versions. So they do look kind of fun. For me, I think it was Secret of the Ooze that started to get the costumes looking a little cheaper and just not as good. There's a certain soulfulness to the Henson ones that just can't be beat. Neca Henson Leonardo is still one of my favorite action figures of all time. Of all time? Yes, of all time. But this 4-pack you can get for, I think it's $150, which, yeah, actually, now that I say it, that's crazy expensive. That's bonkers. I'm going to double check that. I think I might be right, though. Let's find out. If I'm not, I'll put a little correction down there. Or if I'm right, then I'll put a little compliment about how awesome I am. We'll find out. But yeah, you've got that 4-pack. Then they are also re-releasing Tokka and Raza from Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Again, I'm repeating myself. I do want these two. Not even necessarily exclusively for a Ninja Turtles movie display, but just for my Monsters type display. These two guys, they look really fun, and I didn't pick them up the first time round because I don't think we've even seen them in the UK yet. I think maybe COVID or even just exclusive US-ness. I don't know what the deal was, but I've never seen that 2-pack over on these shores. If it finally does find its way over here, I'll be tempted. But again, that price point is steep. It's effing vertical. So I don't know, I might just enjoy these from afar for a while, but certainly they are very pretty. And then finally, they are releasing their Secret of the Ooze accessory pack, and there's a lot of stuff in here. So if you want to really go ham with differentiating your Secret of the Ooze Turtles from your 1990 movie one, this is the pack for you. There's a lot of cool stuff. The main thing, I think, is the different turtle heads. So you've got some very different, unique expressions there. But then just look at everything in these pictures. So many accessories, gadgets. I remember when the film came out, I saw a little making of thing, and this is going back like to the early 90s, but even as a kid I remember there was an interview there where they were saying that parents were complaining about the turtles fighting with weapons like violent swords and nunchaku, so they tried to come up with all these different things that they could fight with that weren't actually weapons. It's like, geez. People are so lame. Why do adults have to ruin everything? This is coming from a 40-year-old man, alright? We're the good adults. Us guys. It's the lame, boring adults who don't want children playing with weapons that spoil everything. But you've got so much stuff in this accessory pack. If you want to add it to your Secret of the Ooze Turtles, that's going to be a real fun addition. Now then, we got Mattel. Mattel once again rehabilitating themselves in the eyes of us fans and YouTubers. They're showing us images of the 40th? Really? Anniversary He-Man figure. This looks like a really great combination of classic retro design with a more modern aesthetic, and I like it. I won't get it. I'm calling it now. I was tempted though. When I was thinking about doing like an 80s kids classic sort of display with Prime, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Megatron. I just listed the same Transformers franchises. He-Man, Thundercats, that's what I was trying to get at. Sort of combining them all together with the Turtles like a full-on 80s display. I moved away from that because I was like, no, Dave, stop looking for excuses to spend more money. But this He-Man, he does look like a perfect, if you only get one He-Man figure, this would be the guy to get, it looks like, because I do love the fact that they've kept that sort of retro, almost Ken doll, sort of slightly campy sort of He-Man design and facial features, but they have upgraded the body and style to make it more sort of dynamic to go with the rest of your 1/12 figures. That's really cool. We don't have a release or price point yet. That's going to be coming up soon. In the meantime, we just got this one picture and it does look quite awesome. In their continuing bid to perpetually drain our wallets, Cosmic Legions have shown teasers for their next line of Cosmic Legions figures. We haven't even got the first line through yet. And look, I understand it's all about generating money to make the product. Like, I get it. I didn't get it for a long time. But then, you know, at the grand old age of my late 30s, I was like educated, oh, that's how business works. Yeah, so before they've even released the first wave of Cosmic Legions, they are showing us teasers for the second one so that we can hand over another big batch of money in pre-orders. I'm not knocking them. That's just the way it goes. Me personally, until I have my first set of Cosmic Legions figures, I don't want to go forking over even more money in the hopes I'm gonna like them. You know, that's a bit of a risky bet. You're literally like betting on your enjoyment of a product. I don't know about that, but then again, that's just me. Cosmic, well, not Cosmic, but they're not out yet. That's the whole point. But Mythic Legions are very popular, and a lot of people absolutely love them, and I've got to admit, the whole reason I bought in full force on the Cosmic Legions line was because I regretted being late to the party with Mythic Legions. So I am torn. A big part of me is saying, no, Dave, you don't have the money to be spending this on like things that you're not even get in hand for another year or more. So I'm like, slow down, dude. But still, just the little tease of what's to come, it is kind of exciting. The silhouette looks kind of cool, very insectoid and creepy, alienish. I kind of dig that. I'm going to be excited to see what these future reveals are going to look like. Speaking of teasers, McFarlane DC have shown some teaser images of their Wally West Flash. This is a version costume design I'm not actually very familiar with. Is this New 52? I think it might be, but you guys know me and my DC knowledge. I don't know. He looks nice though. There's nothing new that I can add to McFarlane DC though. You kind of know what to expect if you're into the line. This is great for you. I do feel that even though apparently McFarlane DC have higher sales figures, at least according to one old fella in charge, it's always Marvel Legends that seem to meet with more fanfare with their reveals. People get more excited about them, even if there's less to be excited about sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's just me. That might just be coming from the dude who sat in front of like 10,000 Marvel Legends. I wonder why I think there's more fanfare. Go figure. But this figure looks nice. The pictures look exciting if you're a DC Wally West Flash guy, so we haven't got a release date or price yet, but when we do, you know, your old pal Dave's gonna let you know. You gonna go into that cage? That cage goes into the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark. Yes, Neca are going to be releasing a Hooper action figure from my favorite film of all time, Jaws. I could wax lyrical about how much I love Jaws so much. Went to see in the theater a play called The Shark is Working.
Broken, Dave. It's called The Shark is Broken. Jeez Louise.
Recently, which is a 3-man play all about the making of Jaws, written by and starring the son of Robert Shaw, who played Quint, and that dude is the spitting image of his father. Really amazing show, and of course Richard Dreyfuss, one of like the 3 pillars of Jaws. Absolutely fantastic performance, and this figure captures him right before one of the most terrifying scenes in the movie, where he goes into the cage that goes into the water that has the shark, Bruce the shark. And this is wonderfully capturing all the different accessories. I think the scuba gear is sort of a soft goods, which is unusual for NECA. I mean, they do soft goods, but it's not like a standard kind of thing. So that's kind of cool to see. 2 different heads, a bunch of other accessories. I'm not going to get it because, again, I don't need the more movie type lines. I started getting movie figures and I was like, nah, I don't need that. Also, again, got that uncanny valley kind of thing. It looks good, but almost too good. You know, it's the same with Marty McFly and Christopher Lloyd. I'm like, no, it's just, I don't know about that. But that's kind of a compliment. I'm saying, NECA, your face sculpts are so good, they're a bit too realistic. But still, this looks really awesome. So if you want to get a Jaws collection, I'm guessing that surely we must be getting a Quint and a Chief Brody, and that could be kind of awesome. So when more information about this comes out, you know I'm going to let you know. Speaking of my favorite films, Stealing Through the Night, Lost Boys, Lost in the Shadows. Lost Boys. That soundtrack. I know what I'm listening to at the gym today. Super 7 reaction figures are doing Lost Boys. At least one character from Lost Boys, Michael. Michael, yeah, of course. No, it's not Michael, because Michael's the, There Are Only Noodles Michael. What's the name of Keith Sutherland's character? I just said it's my favorite movie of all time. Is it David? I think it's David. I should have remembered that. Regardless, we're getting 2 action figures of him. One in regular Keith Sutherland, I'm totally not a vampire type look. And then the monster-fied, I'm totally a vampire look. And they both look kind of fun if you like the reaction type figures. I like my more sort of, badass kind of fully articulated 6-inch sort of style. But if you like to have on your wall in the card back the cool little token example of a character from the movie you love, this is kind of fun. So I don't know price or release point, I just wanted to show them because it's Lost Boys and I dig the Lost Boys and you should too. Honestly, if you haven't seen the Lost Boys, go watch the Lost Boys. That's your homework for tonight. Speaking of Super 7, they might be a little bit upset. Why? Because 5K Toys are giving us a Tortoise van. See, Super 7 are doing a very expensive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles turtle van. Official. And 5K Toys, God bless them, they're giving us the Tortoise van. Legally distinct-ish. Wouldn't want to go and represent that one in court. I'd be like, this might be a tough argument, guys. It looks really nice though, and it's a lot cheaper than the Super 7 one too. So this van is in 1/12 figure scale for 6-inch figures. That always confuses my brain because 6-inch figures are 1/12 scale and 1/6 scale are big Hot Toys figures. Math is hard. So this turtle van, it has all the accoutrements and all the things that you would expect for the Ninja Turtles van, except it's cheaper than the Super 7 one. Ooh, the mind boggles as to what options you should go for. So if you want to pick yourself up a cheaper version of the Turtle Van, as long as you don't mind in your head knowing, in the back of your mind, that it's not the Turtle Van, it's the Tortoise Van. Not that any of the stickering or labeling says that. It's so cheeky. I gotta love it. Go check out 5K Toys and see some of the awesome things they're putting together. I never cease to be impressed with these guys. In a more whimsical kind of story, Marvel answered a question that I think we've all been wondering for about the last 60 years, and that is...
The Thing. Is this dork made of orange rock?
Yep, they actually finally covered it, and yeah, God bless you. There's a Thing limited series at the moment, and he has his girlfriend, his love interest, and they start to get, intimate and emotional, and, she says like, I really care for you, and he's like, hey, look, you look at my skin, I'm not a guy to be, intimate with, to which she beautifully replies, I like it rough. I thought that was kind of cute, and then in the next panel, we see the two of them post-coital, post-boot knocking, and things looking very satisfied. And it's kind of fun that Marvel sort of touched on this, and it goes to show that even if he's a little bit rough around the edges, the Thing, he's got a lot to love. A little video game news, because video games are always close to my heart. One that I was looking very closely at was Ghostwire Tokyo, which is a first-person occult kind of shooter sort of game, which is a supernatural Tokyo story where you're going around the streets of an incredibly realized Tokyo, kind of hunting ghosts and resources. It's a bit survival horror, a bit action shooter. It looked really interesting, and it's just come out, and the reviews are good, but not amazing. What everyone is essentially saying is that it looks stunning. The recreation of Tokyo streets, it's like being in Japan. And I'm like, oh, that does look really cool. Going around all the different shops and markets and areas, and it does look so great. And the spooks and specters and all that kind of thing, very, very cool. Although it does also say like the gameplay isn't quite there. So you can have so much fun just being immersed in the world, but it doesn't quite have that sort of punch, that gameplay sort of like, that really makes it the most enjoyable experience it could be. So I think I'm going to have to check it out maybe when it's a lot cheaper, when it's reduced, when I can buy it secondhand. I think this is a world that I really want to jump into because it looks like a visual spectacle that just looks so, so cool. And maybe with some downloadable content or some patches or something, they can like zhuzh up the gameplay. And I think this could be a pretty amazing experience. And keeping the video game news spooky related, Ghostbusters Unleashed has had a trailer, and this is kind of fun to watch. It's a Ghostbusters in-canon story set after the most recent film, Afterlife, and you are in a team of 4 people, and you're like new trainee Ghostbusters, and then there's a 5th player who plays a ghost, and the whole idea is the 4 of you have to work together to try and catch the ghost, and the person playing the ghost has to haunt this area that you're in. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm not a big multiplayer person, but I kind of like the idea of a model behavior Ghostbusters squad going out there. That could be kind of fun. So depending on how this game does, if it gets good reviews when it comes out, I might be tempted to make this a thing because I've never played those multiplayer team-based things. And I've always wanted to because games like Predator Hunting Ground and Friday the 13th, they look really cool and they look really fun, but I just didn't have like folks that I knew to play with. So if Ghostbusters is popular and well reviewed, then we might have to make a model behavior ghostbusting squad, and that could be a whole lot of fun. Also, the game has a lot of reverence to the original franchise, with Ernie Hudson reprising the role of Winston Zeddemore. We got Dan Aykroyd in there as well. I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, so I love the fact that we can go back into this world. So that looks really cool. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. And sticking with a Japanesey kind of vibe, Shin Ultra Man has had some posters released. Who? What? Yeah, I know, it's not the most well-known franchise, but some folks are big fans. Ultraman is another classic Japanese kaiju-type character. A regular human being who can be imbued with the powers of Ultraman and grows up to gigantic proportions and fights kaijus in Power Rangers-style battles. This is a character that goes back decades, and now he's getting a movie by the same people who made Shin Godzilla. And Shin Godzilla was like the Japanese resurrection and reimagining of Godzilla, and it was really good because they did so much like nice stuff where it had modern movie making techniques, but they also still used a man in a suit, but then they zhuzhed it up just a little bit with CGI, and it was so beautifully done in that it was a homage to what came before, but with modern sensibilities and just a really clever story that was, as is often the case with Godzilla movies, a commentary and a critique on modern world politics and affairs. So if Shin Ultraman can be like that, I'm going to be really excited to see where this goes. And finally, speaking of Godzilla, it has been confirmed that Godzilla vs. King Kong 2 Electric Boogaloo will be filming in Australia this year. I personally thought Godzilla vs. Kong was fine. I don't feel any great urge to see more of it. I feel like, it was a big, fatty, unhealthy meal that was quite nice, but also by the end of it, I was like, I'm really stuffed. I can't finish the last 2 portions or the last 25 minutes. I think I'm done. So maybe by the time this finally comes out, if they've, made the characters a little bit more interesting or there's an interesting hook to the story, I might be willing to give it a go. Because like I said, didn't hate the first one, but I'm just like, I don't know if my life's going to be any richer for seeing more of this, you know what I'm saying? Then again, don't get me wrong. I watch a lot of trash. I'm not a film snob. I like some bad movies, and Godzilla vs. Kong wasn't bad. It was just it was popcorn. So if there's another popcorn movie coming out in a couple of years, you know what? I'm probably going to end up watching it. And folks, that does it for good news for today. I've been doing a lot of these finger gestures, but hey, I got a lot of energy in me. What did you think of the stories today? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Orla, and she would like to tell you that if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to smash that notification bell. And also, if you really enjoyed the video, then why not go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, where you can throw a few shekels my way and enjoy all the exclusive videos on there. What do you think, Boo? Is that a good idea? Yeah, good girl. Good girl.
Cup of coffee. Big time.